It's the week of June 4th, and Roll for Crit is here to give you your weekly dose of board game news. Fans of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead franchise have some good news this week. Dynamite Publishing and Lynn Vander are teaming up to bring us a new board game based on Army of Darkness, the third film from that franchise. This game is going to be a 1 to 4 player cooperative game in which you'll be playing as Ash and his compadres, trying to fend off the evil undead Deadites from a big old castle in the medieval times. And you're going to be doing this with various dice rolling actions that you're going to actually be programming onto your characters, as well as throughout the game upgrading your castle's defenses with special modern technology coming from the trunk of Ash's car. So it sounds like it's kind of a combo of an area defense game, tower defense sort of style, with actually a programming aspect in there, which is pretty cool. And also, this is of note because they stressed in their press release that they are in no way related to Space Goat and their Evil Dead 2 game, which is in a lot of hot water right now because it has not been delivered from their Kickstarter for that game, and there's a lot of fuss over that. So I think one of their big hurdles for this game is just trying to get over the bad PR of that game.
I was gonna ask you, didn't this series have a really bad Kickstarter?
Yeah, which I was seriously considering backing, and I'm now really glad that I didn't. That's a real whole kerfuffle over there. This is a different thing. Lynn Vander, the people who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which we really liked. That's one of my favorite shows, so I feel like this is a good home for them.
Something else from them?
They had a Kickstarter recently that you were interested
yes,
in.
That's why. I was like, we mentioned them earlier.
Yep, they're out there. They're doing things. But at first, Army of Darkness is not my favorite Evil Dead movie. I like the more horror ones better. Mm-hmm. But hearing the premise of the game, it sounds like a perfect fit of a tower defense style game where you're in different areas.
And I definitely will say sometimes when you look at movies, for example, maybe that might not be the best one for a movie. Mm-hmm. Maybe that translates better to a game, though.
Yeah, completely. I think it's hard to. There are horror board games, and some of them do it well, but I think it's a lot harder to create that feeling of suspense and terror, whereas it's pretty easy to create a feeling of fighting big skeleton armies.
Right. I think one of the big issues with board games, I guess we're going off a tangent with just horror board games in general, mm-hmm. Even with video games, part of the things I think that help make something horror is the lack or loss of control. And in something where if something's turn-based and you have time to think.
Yeah, the turn-based is really what... The best survival horror game is Space Alert. That's when it's really scary. But anyway, so this is exciting, and hopefully we'll find out more details in the near future.
Ares Games has announced it will be reprinting the old game City of Chaos. This was a popular game that came out back in 1996, so it's been quite some time. And this is a heavy story-based game taking place in an old city by Ronatar, where you'll actually be trying to find out what's causing all the chaos, hence City of Chaos, and trying to solve it. It has sort of this random generator, so you can look at certain paragraphs, also different tile layout. So you'll be deciding and making different story choices, which is definitely very unique back then. We've seen that a bit more nowadays, especially in legacy games. Mm-hmm. But it's something that a lot of people would look forward to. It should be coming to Kickstarter sometime, looking like 2019, but keep an eye out. We'll probably have it as a Kickstarter.
It looks like a really interesting title that looks like compared to something like Tales of the Arabian Nights, there's maybe a little more focus on gameplay beyond the storytelling elements in terms of the tile laying and actually maybe some kind of combat involved too. And I also just thought the art style is so out there. It reminded me of like 90s PC games like System Shock or like weird fantasy games.
Yeah. Oh, we should actually mention, because I love it, the title of the game will be City of Chaos, a fantasy game. But I will say the art, well, it's definitely, I remember looking at the old pictures like, this is different. Remember, because it's a new edition, sometimes they completely change the art, so we'll have to wait until we see. Of course,
I mean, it's been 20 years.
Right.
I can't imagine that it's going to look the same
I will say, it would be hilarious if they did make it look like some old, point and click.
Yeah, like it has like a Clive Barker kind of look and feel to it. Like it looks scary to me. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but yeah, they could completely reinvent it. Who knows? We'll find out. We never got to play it, so it's kind of the game that we like to play nowadays. Sounds like.
Yeah, and it's always great to see old games get brought back to the modern area, especially because oftentimes they'll be like, okay, what didn't work in this game? I'll make those few little changes to make this actually a very good game.
Yeah. Some updates regarding the Spiel des Jahres nominees for this year. First, Pandasaurus Games has confirmed that they will be releasing their English edition of The Mind in July, first at Origins and then later for wide release. Also, the company behind Die Quacksalber von Quedlinburg, as well as Ganz Schön Clever, both titles which are up for the Kenner Spiel des Jahres this year, has said that they will also be releasing English editions of those games probably sometime in the fall of this year. So if you're waiting to get your hands on these nominees, you will be able to. And I thought this was cool. If you go online right now, we'll put a link in the notes below, but there is a gaming blog up there that actually has a Flash version of Ganz Schön Clever that you can play within your browser as long as you can find a version of the English rules for the game online somewhere. It's completely self-contained, so if you want to try the game out, that's an easy and free way to do it, which is cool. So this is always neat. You know, every year we try to track down the Spiel des Jahres games, and this is your update on how they're coming.
I know when they actually do the awards for the Spiel, one of the things they look at is the European marketplace, if it can be out by the time they announce it and stuff. It'd be maybe nice if they start thinking maybe more internationally.
They don't care about us. They don't care about us. But then you get to see the scramble of everyone like, they're actually going to be popular. We have to get them out to everybody now.
And of course, what would this be without some new releases coming out this week? We have new Scythe pre-orders for the new expansion, Scythe, Rise of Fenris, and the Legendary Box, which I'm sure will be very exciting to people, as well as some RPGs, Pathfinder, Blood of the Ancients, and Star Wars Force and Destiny, Unlimited Power.
Also out this week are 3 new versions of the Unlock series, a new Netrunner pack, Kampala Ascendant, the Istanbul dice game shipping out to people right now, and finally a new Imperial Settlers expansion pack, We Didn't Start the Fire. Of course, based on the Billy Joel song. I think he's one of the players in that new pack. So,
oh, new expansion, you just play as him.
Yeah, it's just, you're the Billy Joel faction. It's really good, there's a lot going on. So yeah, lots of stuff coming out this week. Lots of little things, but you know, you can get out there and spend your money if you want to. This was a light news week, people. I think as you posited, everyone's kind of laying low before Gen Con. It's the calm before the storm. But we'll see if things ramp up in the near future.
Until then, let us know what you thought about the stories, or maybe as we sort of went off tangent a little bit earlier, what you think would make a good or bad horror board game. Of course, you can let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey there, another cool note, we're running a new contest giving away the new Rick and Morty game from Cryptozoic, The Ricks Must Be Crazy. We have 4 copies to give away. We must be crazy. You can find a link down below to get entries in.
Yeah, it's all through the Gleam website, so there are multiple ways you can gain more entries to try and win your copy for you. The Ricks Must Be Crazy. You gotta enter.
Until then, I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Roll for Crit News.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome board game content from Roll for Crit.
And please leave a comment. We're lonely.